Everyone, I want to thank you for all to coming my speech. Let me introduce myself. I am Bilge. Today I'm going to talk with you guys the environment issues. Let me tell you first that why did I choose this topic? I choose it because I see a lot of people in the country, they just want to develop their industry and they don't really care about how terrible it's going to affect our world. And the second reason is I think our world is an emergency alarm. Did you realize how is the weather going on these days? Have any of you any idea? Okay, probably you should have noticed the differences if you compare it with the previous years. We are in May and we're still feeling cold at some nights and there's rain and thunderstorms on some days. I mean the rain that didn't throw down in winter. There are extreme temperature and impreventable forest fires in all around the world. And it shows us there is a problem which is waiting for to be solved. The problem is our world is dying day by day. So we have to find a way to figure out this problem. Let me tell you that, as I said in the beginning, I told you a lot of examples in the beginning, and they are called by the climate change. Climate change. There are a lot of causes of the climate change, but let me tell you some of them. Generating power, cutting down woods, and using transportation, consuming too much. We can add lots of them. These are the major contributors of the greenhouse gases, especially carbon dioxide and methane. So, what did you know? What did you know about the carbon footprint, and why did we call it footprint? Exactly. The footprint is a metaphor that the total impact that something has, and the carbon is a shorthand for all the greenhouse gases, and it has a lot of causes. But let me tell you some of them. First one is going to be the fossil fuels. We use electricity. We use fossil fuels to get electricity. I mean, when we use a lot of electricity, it means we are using fossil fuels. And the other reason is modern lifestyle. If we make a car count for each person in this planet, then the results will be more than 7 billion cars, and it is enough to catastrophe for mankind. And the third one is industrial revolution. Whatever carbon dioxide was produced by humans, it was absorbed with the jungles and trees and all around the world. But it was long years ago. Then day by day and year by year, we destroy them all, we cut them all to just get food, minerals, and land buildings. You can see the fourth picture, and do you have any idea that why food affects our carbon footprint? Have you any idea? You can predict it. Okay, let me tell you. The food we eat also contributes our total carbon footprint, and especially when we eat the foods that are not locally produced, or when we eat processed foods. The last one is air travel. Traveling by the air is becoming more affordable with no frills service provided. And the use of this mode of traveling has increased rapidly. I mean, especially the substantial people should be more careful about this topic. I mean, I'm not saying that the other ones should be less careful, but we all see that kind of people all around us. They are just going to Italy to eat the pizza on their dinner, and they don't know how terrible effect it's going to have in our world. Because the emission of the carbon emissions by traveling by the aircraft, it's about 190 kilogram per hour, and it has a really disastrous impact on our life. It seems to me it's time to talk about the effects that how are we damaging our world. The first one is climate change. As I said in the beginning, climate change is the major source of the climate change and greenhouse gases. Our world has a natural layer of greenhouse gases, especially carbon dioxide, nitrous oxide, water vapor, and etc. Earth has a natural layer of all of them, and they are helping the maintaining of Earth's temperature by trapping UV rays from the sun. And the other one is marine life depletion. Marine life affects a lot for this situation because there were a lot of ships and the fuel ships that laying down in a sea, and there were thousands of dead fishes are founded, and it happens because the fuel ships that lay in the deep sea, making water critically unbreathable for any kind of marine animal. And sea turtles are documented to be incapsulated or dying due to their ingestion system, which they confuse with their natural food, and it is the cause of the marine animals dying. So I want to ask you a question. Which marine animal do you like most?
All fishes.
Yeah.
I like dolphins.
Yeah. Do you have any idea?
Whales.
Yeah. And I want to tell you, put yourself in the same shoes, but with your favorite marine animal. And how would you feel in that case? As I said before, how would you feel in that case? Yeah, me too. And I'm going to tell you my opinion, and my favorite marine animal is sea turtles. There is nothing I can deal with. The thing who's out of my world, doing it to me consciously, and they are destroying my life. And we all say we have to find and figure it out to solve this problem, but no one is doing something. It is a real controversy. In our country, we have a lot of unconscious farmers in the field. They are doing wrong cultivative, and they are burning leftovers of the products, and they don't know how terrible effect it's going to have for our world. It's going to affect the worms, the ground, us, and our children's life. It's going to affect our entire life. And you see, we are the unconscious farmers doing the wrong cultivative. Instead of doing wrong cultivative, because doing it, we have to take in consideration of the slope. The circumstances are not only in our country, they're happening more or less in the other countries too. So we made a deal, which is Paris Agreement. Do you know any idea? Do you have anything about Paris Agreement?
That's like nature deal.
Yeah.
It's a agreement designed to ban all the ones prevent the decaying of ozone layers.
Yeah. Paris Agreement is legally binding in an international treaty of the climate change, and it was adopted for 196 parties in UN conference in Paris, France. We did it to save our future. So let's think 30 years from now, and imagine yourself as a grandpa or grandma. How would you feel? How it's gonna feel yourself?
Can you repeat the question?
Okay. Imagine yourself as a grandma or grandpa. How would you feel?
I would feel bad because the world has gotten really dirty.
Exactly.
Compared to my childhood.
I agree with you. And maybe we have kids and children, and they're gonna ask us when the world is not an enough and livable place for them. Why didn't you do anything when there was still time to act? And how many of us can dare to tell them, because we were very busy to surfing on the net and we don't really care about it? How many of you can dare to say them? I thought so. No one is going to dare to tell them. So, we have to do something. We all have all the facts and solutions. All we have to do is wake up and change. And instead of looking for hope, look for action. Hope is everywhere once we start to act. So we have to find a way to solve this problem. And instead of looking for hope, look for action. What we are doing, or we did, or we will, it is going to affect our entire life and our children's and grandchildren's life. So all I had wanted to do is raise concern about the emergency of this topic and knuckle down as soon as possible to save our world. Did you remind what did I say in the beginning? I said, I see a lot of people in the countries, they just want to develop their industry and they don't really care about how it's going to affect our world. So, in this case, which one should we choose? Should we sacrifice everything to save to develop our industry, or should we should we pollute what we're doing? Should we stop what we're doing and to save our future?
I think you should be enlightened, friendly, and I think you should align with the family solution and see the beautiful world we are in now.
Exactly. Have any of you any idea?
We can develop our industry quietly and environment friendly, and we can choose a way to do that.
That's a really great idea. And it's time for my dear friend Rem, and I want to thank you for all to coming here and listening.